Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Booga Booga, Psychic Sally Diane. This Sunday night, we have a special Zodiac for 2022 edition because I have too much of a cold to keep talking. Here's Sally.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and welcome to our last show of the year. As the producer has said, this is a very special show where we're going to do the readings by Zodiac for the year 2022. So just sit back and wait for your sign to come up. I will be reading the Tarot, Lenormand, and Rune for each sign. So before we get started, I want to remind you guys of a couple of events we have coming up. We have the winter retreats coming up. We have the palm reading retreat coming up in February 5th and 6th. And we have the tarot reading retreat coming up in March 5th and 6th. Also, anybody who would want an in-person reading with your Queen of Booga Booga, just give the spa near the tracks a call at 519-273-1293. Okay, and without further ado, we're going to get started on the readings for the tarot, for the horoscopes for the year 2022. And I'm going to start out with Aquarius. We'll begin at the beginning, right? So we'll start with the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, and that is an air sign, actually. It's kind of strange it's called a water bearer, but it's the air sign. My mom was an Aquarius. Any of you Aquarians out there, you need to know for the year of for the upcoming year of the tiger, in order to know when the new moon was on the year you were born. If you were born before the new moon in Aquarius, you are the animal of the year before. Okay, so Aquarius, we're going to be looking at your seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. A lot of reverse cards for you Aquarians. So this might be a year when the energies are a little contrary, and especially when we look at the beginning of the year. So you want to make sure that for the year 2022 that you always have a plan B. So just make sure that you cover your behind, right? Okay, so I'm going to draw a tarot card and a Lenormand card. So here we go. We have card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, and card number 4. Okay, so the year starts out. It starts out contrary, but I think that you're going to find that winter and spring are both emotional months for you. During the winter, you might have a hard time financially. It just feels like you're going to have to make some difficult budgeting decisions in the winter, Aquarius. But that's okay because you're doing it with an eye toward the future. So I guess what the cards are telling me is in the winter, Aquarius, make sure that you always look forward to the future. You know, and sometimes there's a time to take care of the present, and sometimes there's time to look ahead and plan ahead. This winter is a time to look ahead and plan ahead. And as you come into the spring, there might be some changes coming that you just seem to want to resist, and that's difficult. It feels like the universe is going to be kind of pushing you on. And sometimes we want to fight what's happening to us. In the springtime, it's better for you if you go with the flow. Also, it's a good time for you to build your support system. So make sure you always have a shoulder to cry on or somebody to help you out through difficult situations in the spring. Summer, you're focused in on relationships. and the things that make the relationships around you strong. I like to see that. Summer's a good time for you to be focusing in on your own happiness. And I even see it here. And it says if you focus too much on what's wrong with your life, you're going to miss out on a lot of good times in the summer, Aquarius. So, yeah, just try not to be negative. In the summer, focus more on having fun than solving all your problems. Okay, and then when we look into the fall, it looks like during the fall, you're a little bit more settled down. I get a message, the Page of Cups is right here, but it feels like it's a message of some good opportunities coming. You know, they say if you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life. And it feels like in the fall, Aquarius, you're going to find a way to kind of get to that point where you're doing something that you love a little bit better. Okay, this is the fall is also a time of just more. There's more romance. There's more opportunity in the fall for you, Aquarius. And I'm going to pull a room for the final word for 2022 for Aquarius. And you have Manas. And Mana is sometimes called the hug rune, and it's a reminder that in relationships, you always look for that two-way success, that win-win situation. So this is a good year for you to partner up and focus in on that win-win situation. Okay, real good. Happy 2022, Aquarius. I'm going to take a deep breath, and we're going to move on to Pisces. Pisces the fish. And Pisces is a water sign. And 2022 for Pisces, for the fish. So what's 2022 going to be like for the Pisces? And again, we look at winter, spring, summer, and fall for Pisces. So Pisces, it looks like the time when things are going to be contrary for you is the summer and the fall. It looks like you're going to have difficult time making progress career-wise or reaching any goals in the summer. You're going to find a lot of blockades there. So much like Aquarius, summer is a good time for you to relax and just be in the moment and focus on enjoying the summer. Do all your serious planning ahead of time. Do over the winter and the spring. In the summer, don't count on it being able to really get a lot of movement going in any of your goals, which means it's a good time to take your time off, put up your feet, and relax. In the fall, Pisces, I do see the King of Cups, but it's the King of Cups reversed. So in the fall, know that some people that you trust and believe in might disappoint you. So that's a good time for you to have a plan B, because the ones that you rely on the most just won't be able to be relied on in the fall. Winter is a different topic altogether, Pisces. The winter of 2022 starts out pretty good for you. I do see you getting good financial news, and it feels like there's good advice. It just feels like winter is a time when you're going to be building, and it's a good time to be building. And then when we look at the spring, you've got the moon coming through, and the moon's about intuition. The moon's about secrets and keeping your secrets, and it's also about facing your fears and facing illusions. So focus in on money and grounding in the winter, facing your fears and anything that you're fooling yourself about in the spring. So that's when you want to take this really cold, hard look at things. Summer, take it easy. And in the fall, know that somebody might disappoint you. So don't expect too much of those around you. Let's see what the Lenormand has to say as far as your scriptures. Okay. You have the scythe, and so it does talk about cutting through. So as you're becoming more grounded in the winter financially, it's also time for you to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Okay, this is not a time to be diplomatic. In the spring, you know, I did tell you about being able to face your fears and face your any illusions that you might have. Also in the spring, Pisces, I see that as a time of accomplishment. So that is the time for you to do your best, because spring is a time of year when you're most likely to get credit and praise for your accomplishments. We go through the summer. Okay, so I did tell you that you're going to have a few obstacles, and summer is a good time for you to put your feet up, Pisces. The universe says the same thing, and there's a little bit of a warning. If you try and do too much over the summer, you will get sick. So I worry about summer being a time when you really can't accomplish much, and if you push yourself too hard, you're going to end up hurting yourself health-wise. Yeah, and it talks, you get the King of Spades here, and the King of Spades is a little different than the King of Swords, because King of Spades, he tends to be a little bit more stubborn about things. So I think that you might be dealing with pride issues in those closest to you in the fall of 2022. And let's see what the runes have to say as far as completion rune for 2022, and what you get is Ing, and Ing is family, it's kinfolk, and so this is a year that's dominated by the needs of family, and that seems to be the overall focus of the year for you, Pisces. So happy 2022, Pisces. And we will now move on to Aries. No. Yeah, Aries. So Aries, the ram, and Aries is a fire sign. I have a lot of Aries in my family, and they are very fiery, stubborn, strong people. They can be a force of nature. So let's see what 2022 brings for our Aries friends. Okay. And we will look at winter, spring, summer, and fall. A lot of reverse cards for you in the winter and the spring. So the first half of the year might not be a good time for you to try and accomplish too much. You know, I look at the year seems to start and end with reverse wands. So I worry about you being overburdened this year, Aries, and taking on more than you can actually handle. So be realistic with yourself this year, and be realistic about what you can accomplish. Basically, choose your battles, and choose your goals. Don't try and carry too many things. It's better to focus on one goal and succeed on that one than focus on 2 or 3 and fail miserably on all of them. So narrow your vision, and narrow the scope of your goals in 2022. January, even though there's a desire for unity and community and stuff like that, it just feels like you have a hard time getting that sense of community and getting everybody together and headed in the right direction. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if the pandemic had something to do with that too. But as far as moving forward and getting your plans started, it does feel like the winter is going to be a little bit of a tough go. So again, lower your expectations and lower the amount of balls you're juggling at once there, Aries. When I look at the spring, I see the Queen of Coins reversed. So in the spring, you really need to focus in on your money. But it's kind of like, if you have a choice between spending your money on something that's really a good deal or putting your money away for a rainy day, I would say put your money away for a rainy day. I would not be quick to spend money on luxury or recreation objects in the spring. This is just the kind of card that says hold on to your money and make sure that you have it there in case you need it. When we look at the summer, we've got the King of Cups for the summer for you, Aries. And the King of Cups is somebody who has both feet on the ground, but there's this kindness and compassion to the King of Cups. And also this particular King of Cups, you also got like the little girl there too, which it represents family. So I do see summer as being a time for getting together with family. And if you want to make any truces, if you want to make any improvements to the family dynamics, summer is the time to do it. So make sure that you plan a few barbecues over the summer and have family around you. When it comes to the fall, you've got the Six of Wands reversed. And so that's a delayed victory, delayed success. And again, take a few items off your plate. Focus on something, on less items in 2022 and try and do things better. So let's see what the Lenormand has to say about 2022. Yeah, the winter, it feels like when I see that king turn up, it just feels like a difficult person. So you are going to be dealing with difficult people over the winter, and you might feel like some people are being purposely difficult, uncharacteristically difficult. The spring, again, another one that's got the sick bed. This is a sick bed for the spring. So I worry about your health in the spring, Aries. Again, I know my producer wants to say this. This is for entertainment purposes only. Then we move on to summer. And in the summer, you've got this wonderful energies around family. This wonderful energy about bringing family together. And then there's this idea of accomplishment. So summer is really the time for you to focus in on what you want to achieve. Do it while the weather's warm. And once it gets cold, retreat into semi-hibernation mode, right? Yes, definitely retreat into semi-hibernation mode. You get the scythe here, but when I put it down, it just feels like it almost said to me, cut through the crap when you can. So even though you don't get to achieve as much as you want in the fall is also a time for you to be a little bit sharp of tongue and to, call people on their crap. And a rune for 2022 for our Aries friends. And what we get is Legus, which is love. So the focus of this year is love. Happy 2022, Aries. And next, we're going to move on to our Taurus friends. And Taurus is an earth sign. So they can be stubborn with a capital S. But Tauruses are also very money orientated. They're conservative. They tend to be observant. And they take their time making decisions. So for our wise Taurian friends out there, let's see what 2022 has in store for you. And again, we're looking at the seasons. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. And the winter, there's going to be a lot of competition. And there's going to be yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition. There's going to be a lot of activity, but it's just the kind of stuff that you like to get your teeth into. You don't like an easy win. You like to have to try for stuff. And the winter will make you try for things, but it looks like you end up being a happy camper. So you're just in your wheelhouse in the winter. Spring, I'm worried about you with the money. You've got the Queen of Coins reversed, so you really, and I'm surprised to say this to Taurians, because the Taurus tends to be conservative about their money. But this is a card that says hang on to your money for now. So there's that. The summer you've got the sword reversed, the Ace of Sword reversed, and it feels like you're going to have a hard time getting to the truth of things over the summer. So I hate to use the L word as in liars, but you're going to have a few liars around you in the summer. So take everything you hear with a grain of salt and check everything out, even with people that you've been able to trust in the past. I don't know what it is about summer energies for you, Taurus, but it really, yeah, you got a lot of fibbers around there. And when I look into the fall, I've got the Five of Coins. And when the Five of Coins comes in, there's this idea of being on the outside looking in, but there's also this idea of having a support group, because you're not alone in the Five of Pentacles. It's just that you're cut off from your money, but you're not cut off from your support group. And it really feels like you might have new romance in your life, or a romantic relationship just going to a good phase in the fall. But relationships and romance are well aspected in the fall for you, Taurus. So let's see what the Lenormand has to say about the seasons for our Taurian friends. Yeah, I said you're going to be on your wheelhouse, and it says in winter you're going to be very comfortable with the energies. So the energies are winning for you there. In the spring, there's this idea of truce. You have the two crossed swords, and it did say that the spring is not a good time for you to be spending money. This is time for you to be saving and putting off purchases. And there's that idea of compromise. So there's that. And then in the summer's not too bad, but again, you've got these little annoyances. And people who ordinarily wouldn't lie to you or mislead you just seem to lie and mislead you in the summer. And then finally, the fall. And the fall, it does seem like there are a bit of stormy seas around there, but relationships seem to go a little bit better. You might be surprised, just like the people are lying to you and letting you down in the summer. When you get into the fall, you've got a really good support group. So maybe the summer is just meant to kind of sort out those that you shouldn't be around in the fall. But overall, it's not a good money year, Taurus, but it is a good year for relationships. And let's see what the runes have to say. You've got Wunjo, which is joy and victory. And there's also success here. So you can set yourself up for success. I think it's the little things that'll natter at you a lot in 2022. But overall, at the end of it, when you look back at the year, you will feel like you've had a successful year, Taurus. So happy 2022 to you, Taurus. And we're going to move back to the next air sign on the horoscope. And that would be the twins, the Gemini. Okay. And let's see what the cards have to say about 2022 for our Gemini friends. And we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. I have to laugh. So, when I look at winter, you've got the Lovers reversed, but it still feels really good and real positive. And I kind of felt like smiling there because it's almost like you never quite trust the relationship that's in front of you. Especially if it's really good, you're just like, okay, so when's the next shoe gonna drop? That's just a Gemini thing, I guess. But it looks like love is actually better than you think it is in the winter. And when you come to the spring, you've got the world. That's everything. And you know, wise man once said, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. And in the spring, you're going to get stuff that you wished for. When I look in the summer, you've got the Page of Swords, but it's the Page of Swords reversed. And pages are sometimes about messages. And over the summer, I'm worried about what they call crossed wires on any messages. So any emails, phone messages, letters that you get that just don't sound quite right, double check everything, especially the really important stuff. Don't just go by anything electronic message. Get a face-to-face talk to clarify any messages. And then in the fall, you've got the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is usually about turning your back on the material for relationship. But when it's reversed like that, it's saying that your focus goes back around off of relationships and back into the future and success. So the fall for you, Gemini, is very much about business work, getting ahead work-wise. I think when we look into the winter and the spring, those are more your relationship times. Whoa, look at that. That prime woman. Oh, Gemini. Be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. That really rings true in the spring, because even though life just seems to be giving you everything you want, it's just hard for you to be happy in the spring, even though the universe is doing everything in its power to make you happy. It's just, for some reason, you're in a Debbie Downer place. Yeah, take some St. John's wort, do a happy meditation, get your chin up. Spring's good, even though it's hard for you. The reality and the feelings are hard to balance off, Gemini, in the spring. So no, it really is good. Play this back over and over again. Spring is really, really good. It just doesn't feel that way. When I look into the winter of 2022 for Gemini, that's winter and summer are your two high points. In winter, it feels like you're happy with yourself and who you are. And in summer, you're happy with life and just the way things are. It feels like you've got a really good summer again. Don't be 100% trustful of electronic messages. Make sure you check everything out. And when it gets into the fall, you're sorting out things career-wise. So overall, it looks like a pretty productive year for you, Gemini. And let's see what the runes have to say. We'll pick out a rune for 2022. And for Gemini, it's Tyr, T-was. And that's about justice. It's about being true to yourself. It's also about telling the truth. So 2022 is not a good year for you to be fibbing. Lies will catch up with you and bite you in the you-know-where. Okay, so happy 2022 to you, Gemini. So we're halfway through our horoscope, and we've been giving the producer a bit of a break on his voice box there. But how are you doing, honey?
Well, everybody's doing quite well here. We have gotten some nice feedback.
Good.
But why don't you tell them, lovely folks, about Friday?
Friday. Oh, folks, it is going to be not one queen, but two queens. It will be my final collaboration of this year on New Year's Eve at 4 o'clock. And it is a collaboration with that amazing queen, the one and only Miss Desiree Lee. So you'll have the Queen of Ooga Booga, Sally Diane, and everybody's favorite queen, Desiree Lee, here on the Queen of Ooga Booga channel, 4 o'clock New Year's Eve. See you there. Okay, so moving on. Moving on. We're going to Cancer, the Moon Children. Okay, so what is 2022 going to be like for the Moon Children? Okay, so our lovely Cancers out there, homebodies that they are. Okay, so this winter you have the Five of Swords reversed. So it feels like it just feels like one. No. I just don't have a good feeling about this Five of Swords reverse. It feels like people are being pointless. You know, like in the winter, maybe it's just everybody's mood or whatever, but it just feels like people are being pointlessly mean. So I'm a big believer in forgiveness sometimes. But here it just feels like, and maybe it's because of the pandemic or whatever, but it seems like all the people in your life are stressed out. They're all just in a bad mood and putting their worst foot forward. So you're going to have to be patient and forgiving over the winter because there's a lot of people that you love. Springtime is time for business, Cancer. Springtime is time for you to look at new opportunities, new ways to earn money, new ways to build up your pile. And then the summer, so you have the Five of Cups reversed. And the Five of Cups is about partial loss. And the trick to this card is to focus in on what you still have left. And reverse like this, it does feel like the focus turns around from what was lost to what you still have. So the winter's rough, but in the summer you're going to be doing this kind of reassessment of everything. And then in the fall, nice. Spring and fall are really times for you to look toward money and make money happen. Focus on friends, family, building relationships, and the things that bring happiness into your life in the winter and the summer, and money opportunity in the spring and the fall. And they're both, the spring and the fall are both dominated by some pretty powerful money cards. Now we'll see what the Lenormand has to say. Okay, Cancer. Yeah, I did say in the winter everybody's going to kind of be on their worst behavior, but through that you kind of it feels like in the midst of the turmoil you make some new connections. Wow, springtime is definitely time for you to be focused in on money and starting new things. It's backed up by the sun, which is associated with the Ace of Diamonds and the King of Pentacles. The Ace of Diamonds is very closely related to the Ace of Pentacles. So you've got this money thing happening, Cancer, in the spring and the fall that's enviable. Okay, over the summer, you are going to be dealing with you know, I said about the card, the Five of Cups being about losses and focusing on what you have left. Yeah, and this just backs it up. That there are losses over the summer, and you always have to readjust your focus on what's left. And you've got the prime woman, a new beginning in the fall. So Cancer, 2022 is going to be a powerful year for you. And the spring and the fall is really a time for you to be focusing in on money and things that are going to build your security in the future. Let's see what the runes have to say. B, Berkana. If you are thinking about maybe having a baby or conceiving, this is a good year for conceiving, and the spring and the fall are good times for new beginnings. But even if it's not focusing on a baby, it's focusing in on something new. This is a year to start something new, to produce something new. So good on you, Cancer. Happy 2022. So next on my list is Leo. So listen up, my Leo the Lion friends. Let's take a look-see at what 2022 holds for you. If you don't mind, I'm going to have just another little sip of my tea here. I think your queen's getting a little bit of what her producer has, which the good news is we tested today. It is not COVID. We both tested negative, but we still feel a little under the weather, folks. Whoops. I think my shuffler isn't working so good. So let's move on to Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion in the year of the tiger, which that will be another show. So we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. Winter, we have the Ace of Wands reversed. So there's winter is a good time to start something new, but be prepared to, you're going to have to be stubborn because you are going to face obstacles as that happens. When it gets into the spring, you've got the Ten of Wands reversed. And a lot of times when I see that Ten of Wands reversed, see it's kind of an abdication of responsibility. And it feels, with you in particular, Leo, it's saying that springtime is a good time for you to examine just how much you have on your plate and start asking you, is this doing me any good? Is this doing me any good? Is this doing me any good? Because you've got too much on the go and you're really overburdened in the spring. And that's a you thing that you need to clear up. When we look into this summer for Leo the Lion, you've got strength, but strength reversed. So that still means you've got that strength and confidence. But it also means that because it's reversed, oh dear, we've been listening to a lot of that. Okay, so because you have the strength card reversed, it means that you might have problems kind of keeping your confidence and sticking to your guns on a few things. So, know that you might be just a little weaker in the summer than you're used to being and a little less assertive. So, don't push yourself too hard, but know that you need to build up your confidence. And in the summer, you need to work on what makes you strong and confident, Leo. And then when we look in the fall, we've got the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is somebody who brings you a message of love, an offer, but it's reversed. So I really think that in the fall, that's time when you'll get offers and you'll get long-awaited offers, but you're going to have strings attached. So use that confidence, use that noggin, and figure out whether you can live with the strings that are attached. Lots of good, perfectly good offers comes with strings attached that we can tolerate. It's personal decision. So when we look at January, very similar cards. You've got the prime woman, and that tells me that in January, in January, that is a new beginning for you, Leo. But it's saying plan carefully. Know you're going to come up against obstacles. So embrace a new beginning, but be careful of your step. And then when we look, oh, isn't that interesting? Because you got the Ace of Spades here and the Two of Spades here. And remember what I said, spring's a time for you to look at what you've got on your plate. This Two of Spades is saying, hey, this is a time to look who you can partner with and maybe delegate out some of the things that you're carrying. And the summer for Leo, I did tell you you're going to be a little off your feet. You're going to feel like, I think you're going to feel not quite like yourself over the summer. It's not going to be a really good summer for you. I'm sorry about that, Leo, but it really isn't. When I look at the shattered mirror, the word trust comes through, and even though you don't have a good summer here, that idea is trust what's ever being taken away from you is actually a blessing in disguise. So then we look at the fall. We got the bear. You got the Knight of Cups, and you've got the bear. And the bear is about obstacles and those who will stand in your way. Okay, so it's in the fall, in the fall, Leo, this is a time for you to have a plan B. Know that not everything you want to do is going to go forward really smoothly. And so that is time for you to have a plan B. Almost count on obstacles being in the way and be prepared to face and overcome whatever challenges life puts ahead of you. Whatever bears Mother Nature decides to throw in your path in 2022. And, oh, I almost forgot, Leo. Let's see what the runes have to say about 2022. And you have wheat. So this is a good time for you to be working on your productivity. It is back and forth, and you're not going to be able to solve everything, but you're going to be able to plant the seeds for a good beginning for the next 5 years. All right, so now we move on to Virgos. And anybody who's known a Virgo knows we can be picky, we can be anal retentive, we can be OCD. We're also such fashion plates.
So you're the same as everybody else then?
That's one. You did manage to get it. That's one. Okay, so Virgo for 2022. Look at winter, spring, summer, and fall. Winter, you have the Chariot. So winter, you are on the move. You are on the go, Virgo. And the Chariot really feels like you might even be doing some traveling. But this idea of on the go. And there's also this idea of being the charioteer, that you need to keep on top of everything. Keep a good, careful calendar. Just keep on top of everything. Be in charge. We get to the spring, we've got the Ace of Wands reversed. So we may have delayed satisfaction there. The Ace, just because it's there, does talk about a new beginning, but you might get an offer that's not quite what you want in the spring. The summer for Virgos, for our Virgo friends, you've got the Emperor reversed, and that's sometimes called the failed leader. And so over the summer, Virgo, you might find that those who inspire you, those who lead you, like managers, bosses, senior family members, I do see you being let down by some of them. So be prepared to stand on your own for a few things over the summer, Virgo. Then we get into the fall. Okay, so you've got the Five of Coins reversed. And when it's right side up, you're kind of on the outside looking in when it comes to the money and stuff. You got support around you, but you know, when it's right side up, you're sort of cut off from money sources. It's reversed though, which tells me that some money sources are going to open up for you, whether that's this promotional opportunities, whether it's better pensions, whatever. The fall is the time when the ways and means to increase your income become obvious to you, Virgo. Now, she just keeps turning up. I'm going to give these cards a real good shuffle. That queen, that ace of spades just keeps going. Show up, show up, and show up. Okay, so January, winter, spring, summer, and fall. So fall for Virgos, try and get as much done in the spring and the summer, especially the summer, because in the fall I see a lot of obstacles coming your way, and I also worry about health for the Virgos in the fall, because it does show the sick bed, and it does show fives both ways, and fives can be a number of conflict. So you might find everything a little overwhelming in the fall, Virgo. Summer, you've just got, even though those around you let you down, for you yourself, summer is a really good time for you, Virgo. You've got the sun, you've got the Ace of Diamonds, you've got opportunities coming your way. So Virgo on his or her own in the summer is good. When I look at the spring, you do have opportunities. You do have the ways and means to move forward, but it's not going to be easy. You need to be focused, and you need to go forward with a plan. So don't count on luck in the spring, but you can set yourself up spring, summer for some good success. Winter, now I did talk about you getting in control, things moving forward. It also reminds me that as you move forward, sometimes people become envious in that. So always watch out for people acting jealous. People get stupid when they get jealous. And anytime you start moving ahead real fast, people get a little jelly of you. And so look for a few obstacles, to be thrown in your path. So let's see what the runes have to say about 2022 for Virgo. It's a year of love. So what it looks like the first half of the year is deciding where you want to go career-wise. But then that last half of the year, you probably are better off focusing in on love and relationships. This is a year for you to focus on everything you love. And also the phrase comes through, still waters run deep. So shuffle the cards again and move on to the third air sign, our friends, including our beloved producer, our Libras. And Libra is next. Let's see what 2022 holds for our Libra friends. And Libra in the winter, Libra in the spring, Libra in the summer, and Libra in the fall. So the year starts out, it just feels like, when I look at that Ace of Wands, it just feels almost like you're handed another responsibility. You're handed another job. So it does feel like people are going to want to put more and more on your plate over the winter, Libra. There is a word to help you there, and that's no. If you feel like you're being overwhelmed, just say no when somebody tries to put another thing in front of you and hand another responsibility to you. When we look at the spring, spring's a good time for Libra. As far as money and home go, it looks like you're going to be putting down or strengthening the roots you have and your financial status in the spring, Libra. Good on you. That's enviable. And then this summer continues on, and the Four of Coins is sometimes considered the miser card. And it does kind of say that when life starts giving you more money, you got to figure out more creative ways to hang on to it. And so that's where the summer is focused on. In the fall, I just see it. The fall, you've got Six of Cups. And Six of Cups is about nostalgia. Six of Cups, it's about focusing on your childhood. So as you come into the fall and possibly, and especially thinking of the holidays, there's Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. It does talk about, focusing on family. And it also says, Libra, that fall's a good time to mend some fences family-wise. Especially family members that you haven't talked to in a long time. Fall's a good time to build a bridge. And let's see what the Lenormand has to say. Got January, you've got safe there. So the ways and means towards money, that money path is open right in front of you. And you go to the spring, and the Ten of Coins is opposed by the Moon card, which is also the Eight of Hearts. So there is evolution around the heart. And the Moon talks about things unseen, unknown. So you might get some surprise information about money. And summer is a good time for you to play your cards a little close to your chest. You don't need to give everybody all your secrets, because there's this little warning about people being jealous of you. And this reminder that when things go good for you, sometimes that's when people's tongue kind of turns against you, and they'll say whatever. People can be trolls sometimes, bless their hearts. And then in the fall, fall's time to focus in on family and the celebrations coming up. Okay, so overall, Libra, it looks like you have a good year. Start out by focusing on money and end it by focusing on family. And let's see what the rune is for 2022 for our Libra friends. And that would be Berkana. Productivity, new life, new opportunities. Okay, so happy 2022, Libra. So then we are looking at our last water sign on the horoscope, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. You'd think that the scorpion would be air. I mean, not air, but fire because of the sting. But no, Scorpios are water. All right. So Scorpio, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Winter for Scorpio, you've got the illusion delusion card. So when the year starts off, it looks through the winter like it says that you need to kind of clear your mind, clear your focus. Because you seem to be all over the map, Scorpio, and that's not helpful. We go into the spring, and you've got the Page of Cups, but it's the Page of Cups reversed. And I just feel like Scorpio, you might get bad news in the spring. And it's not massive bad news, but it's enough to kind of set you back a little bit and take a big chink out of your pride. So then we look at summer for Scorpio, and you've got the Eight of Coins, but it's the Eight of Coins reversed. So it does show that you can move up the ladder, that you can you can be, it's a card of the master craftsman, the card of a job well done. But because it's reversed, it says that you can do your job well. And it's important for you to do your job well over the summer, Scorpio. But I think you're just not going to be that much into it, and know that that shows. Then we go into the fall. Better. Okay, so in the fall, your focus does turn more toward job, and even though they're both reversed, so it tells me that there's nothing guaranteed here, but the potential is definitely there if you're willing to focus a little bit more. It's not easy to be focused in the summer and the fall, but it's a good time, Scorpio, for you to be focused, especially on money and job. So we're going to see what the Lenormand has to say to our Scorpio friends. Give it a shuffle first. Winter. You have the delusion where you're focused in the wrong direction, but it also says this is a good time for you to build partnerships. Spring, you've got a new beginning coming here, and that makes sense when the path ahead puts coins here. You've got some kind of a new beginning, so you get both bad news and good opportunity, both at once. So the spring's kind of, it's hot on one side, cold on the other, so the average is pleasantly warm. Okay, so then you get summer, and over the summer, it looks like you're actually going to have a good summer emotionally. I think there's going to be a lot of partying. It feels like that 3 months, right? So it is hard to focus in on work, Scorpio, but hey, it's going to be a fun summer. And then fall. Yeah, fall is a time for you to be, this is kind of a card that says you reap what you sow. So as hard as it is for you to stay focused in on your job, and I feel like it's almost like you're dialing it in, do whatever you can to re-find your enthusiasm for your job over the summer. Because whether you've done a good job or a mediocre job, either or is going to come back to haunt you in the fall. So you want to be haunted by having done a good job. Okay, and Scorpio. Let's see. For 2022, you've got tear, justice and truth. So this is time to bring things into balance and to be honest, brutally honest. You have my permission, Scorpio. Okay, so happy 2022 to you. And then we move on to the last fire sign of the year, Sagittarius, the Archer. Another stubborn sign, but it's a sign with keen instincts and a good eye. So, Sagittarius, let's see what 2022 holds for you, but if you just give me 1 second here, another little sip of tea. Okay, Sagittarius. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall for our Sagittarian friends. Over the winter, dream big. don't be afraid to float your hope bubble 10,000 feet high. You know, it doesn't matter how big or how high you hope. If you get disappointed, it's going to feel the same no matter what. So go ahead and float that hope balloon high. You do have opportunities coming through in the spring, but they don't feel to be quite what you want. Maybe not as big as you want, but it feels like one of these things like you're getting, when you get an opportunity, it's like a seed, and you can always nourish it and turn it into something bigger. Summer, you've got the Chariot, but it's Chariot reverse. So both in the spring and the summer, even though everything, you know, you have the opportunity to move things forward, it's not going to be easy. So it is spring and summer, Sagittarius, be as pushy and be as stubborn and pushy and determined as I know you can be. And then we look at fall. Oh, fall's the time to focus in on lovers' games and fun. And you are going to have a fun fall, and it looks like there's travel attached to it too. So good on you, Sagittarius. So let's see what the Lenormand has to say. 2022 for our Sagittarian friends. Really great winter. And it says, you know, dream big, ask for what you want. It does look like you are going, when I look at this Two of Diamonds, it does look like you're going to get some credit, award, and reward kind of thing. But it just feels like a good slap on the back and a hearty handshake in the winter. Ask for what you want, dream big. Spring. Okay, so I did say there was opportunity coming in, and it did seem to be a little clouded. But you also have love coming in, because in the spring you've got Cupid showing up. And so it feels like, yeah, it just feels like loving relationships, and it just feels more like a getting closer sort of thing. So those Sagittarians out there that are already in a relationship, look for another honeymoon period to come up, you know. And then the summer, oh yes, summer you have the hearth, you have the warmth, the campfire. Good summer. I like to see that. I do worry a little bit when it says that you can't make things go forward as much as you can, but at least you can have, you know, at least you've got good friends and good family and probably good beer too in the summer. And then you go to the fall. Travel. I'm not sure where you're going, but you've got a lot of go get them things moving forward, taking a trip kind of cards. So look for a very active fall with chances for travel. Okay, Sagittarius, and we're going to see what the runes have to say for our Sagittarian friends in 2022. Well, that one just falls right into my hand. And you've got Iwas, which is also called horse, and it's it talks about a symbiotic love. Where it's one of those kind of relationships where 1 + 1 = 3, where the total exceeds the sum of the parts. You know, we're working together. What I'm good at, you know, what I'm bad at, you're good at, kind of thing, and vice versa. So this idea of a balanced relationship, you know, a balanced relationship where each lives is enhanced by the introduction of the other. That feels very much to be the influence for the year 2022 for our Sagittarian friends. It's probably a good year for you to reconnect with old friends. Okay, so happy 2022, Sagittarius. And then last but not least, the final earth sign, Capricorn. And for Capricorn friends, those of you who follow the Chinese horoscope, I just wanted to remind you that if you are January Capricorn, your animal is the one assigned to the previous year. For example, next week, our Capricorns will not be tigers, they will still be oxes. And I will talk more about the Chinese horoscope in January. But right now we're focused on the Western Zodiac and the absolute final one, Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn. Summer, spring, winter, and fall. Okay, Capricorn. Winter, you are going to be working your way up the ladder. And sometimes you have to take one step forward till you can see the next, see further ahead. And I think of that as I see these guys, because there's 3 of them on this structure, but none of them can see the other one. So you don't really see everything that's going on, Capricorn. It just says forge ahead. You've got the wheel for spring, so it looks like 2022 is going to be a pretty good year for you. And the Wheel of Fortune just talks about things moving forward in your favor, and it just feels like things that you've been waiting for a long time. It's almost like the dam breaks loose and comes forward, and the things that you've been wanting start to happen. Then we look at summer for our Capricorn friends. Magician, very powerful card, very powerful year, Capricorn. The summer, the Magician is somebody who just can make something out of nothing, and that's you, Capricorn. So summer is time for you to manifest. Your luck moves forward in a good way in the spring, manifest in the summer, and then in the fall. Okay, that is it. In the fall, you kind of get this reminder, Capricorn. I can see Capricorns being like this. Sometimes, sometimes the more you have, the tighter you hang on to it. And the fall for the Capricorn is a reminder to be charitable, to give back, and to share what you have. So as life treats you good, Capricorn, remember, don't get greedy and don't be selfish. Okay. And having said that, also remember, don't let yourself be taken advantage of either. Okay, so see what the Lenormand has to say for the winter. Yeah, you don't see opportunities coming ahead. You just need to keep moving forward and moving forward and moving forward. But in the winter, you do have opportunities presented to you. Things start moving for you in the spring. Ooh, and you've got the prime man there. It looks like things very much come through for you in the spring. And you do have somebody coming into your life as a supporter. Whether this is somebody who helps you work-wise, a friend or a lover, but there is an individual here that enhances your life somehow. And then in the summer, when you're manifesting stuff, oh, look at that. It says also focus in on home. So summer is a time for you to either buy a new home, move to a better home, or make your own home look better. But it says, focus in on those 4 walls. And then in the fall, so Capricorn, you've got a lot of little annoyances coming down the pipeline in the fall. And so it says, be open, let people know, what's going on. But no, there's always going to be, nothing's ever perfect. And there's always going to be a little bit of annoyances. Okay, so we're going to pull 1 rune for our Capricorn friends. And the rune for 2022 for Capricorn is provide for the needs of the future. So everything you do this year, you know, it's easy enough to focus in on the now, but you also need to focus in on 5 years in the future. So this is a year that puts you in a position where you can take care of the future. Remember to do so. And thank you very much, Capricorn. Happy New Year to you. Okay, so that was 2022 by Zodiac signs. I hope you all enjoyed it. And remember to tune in New Year's Eve for the collaboration of the queens. Your Queen of Ooga Booga and everybody's favorite queen, Miss Desiree Lee. And we're going to be right here New Year's Eve at 4 o'clock.